Have you ever wondered why so many brands don't actually manufacture clothing in Australia anymore? It's Fleur here, Creative Director from Fleur Collective. I've actually one of the lucky ones where I've been operating and manufacturing Australian-made product for the last 14 years. Now, what I'm actually facing today as a designer still to sustain Australian-made is a multitude of challenges that come into the fold, and why it's actually easier to go offshore to produce a product for the market. I think for me, what I'm experiencing currently is trying to find innovative fabrications. We have a diminishing wholesale fabric base here in Australia. One of our long-standing fabric suppliers shut down after 80 years of trade. Now, no one's waking up tomorrow going, I think I'm going to be a fabric wholesaler. And so that has left a huge gap in the market for, creatives that still want to produce in Australia. So I think that there's these challenges here that when you start to look for something that's different, a point of difference, that also excites you, that's innovative, it's not all happening in Australia as much as I'd love to say it is. And so for me as a creative, that's one of my little pet peeves, is that I'm constantly looking for fabrications and beautiful textures and something that's new technology even coming through in our fabrics that I can bring to the market. And sadly, one day that may mean that it's not produced here in Australia. As I said, we've been producing in Australia for the last 14 years. Our makers that we've been working with in Melbourne and Queensland have been part of the Fleur Collective family that whole time. We know them independently, individually, by face, by name, by phone call, you name it. And I think that's one of the joys, the glimmers, right? So it's not all challenge, but I just wanted to share a little insight about how it's becoming increasingly harder to manufacture in Australia. And while the government have initiatives to sustain that, we are definitely not there yet. Thankfully, I've invested in my business, and I have situations here where I've got automatic cutters that help me sustain one of the areas where no one's actually training to be a cutter, fabric cutter. So that's the start of the process, and that's a really hard thing as a smaller business to be able to try and produce in Australia, to be able to do that, especially if you're not in one of the main city centres. So we're in the Gold Coast. We service all of Australia and beyond the borders, and I guess we'll consider regional. I sometimes forget the marvellous things we're doing with our Australian made here in our factory and with our team, because it's just something I do every day, and it's not till someone comes from the outside in and is blown away by our operations. And I'm really proud of that, and I look to sustain it as much as possible. So I'm going to share with you over time a little behind the scenes as well, so that you can appreciate what we're doing here, and part of the ethic process as well when we do partner with people beyond our borders to achieve product to bring to market.